Hello everyone and welcome to some additional coverage of E3 2016. My name is Kidley and I wanted to go ahead and make another video talking about some more games. Now of course we have the big press events, but there are other games that are announced that are not a part of these big press events, and there are 6 in particular that I wanted to go ahead and talk about. Well, actually 5. And then I wanted to talk about one other that actually was in one of the press events. Let's go ahead and kick this off with Absolver. The game is an online combat RPG which focuses on high-intensity melee combat. The combat is all about timing and flow, allowing you to enter in different stances. There are both PvP and PvE elements, character customization, and world exploring. If you're looking for a high-action melee combat game that allows you to really get into the combat and getting into the world, then Absolver is going to be the game for you. This is going to be released for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC sometime in 2017. Agents of Mayhem might win the award for the best new mechanic at this year's E3. You might take a look at this game and say it's a fast third-person shooter with melee elements, single-player open world, and the ability to take 3 agents into the field at any given time with a total of 12 agents. But what you might not realize is that this game has the ability to hot swap agents at any given time. Now you might say, well, there's other shooters out there where you're out there with a squad and you can switch in between them. You would be correct. But in this game, when you take 3 agents into the field, you can only play one at a time, and the one you are playing is the only one that's out there. The best comparison I could make to this is if you actually look at the fighting game genres, something like Tekken, perhaps, where you're able to select, let's say, 2 characters at the character select, and then when you actually get onto the fighting field, you see how they actually jump in and out of the screen, but there's only one on the screen at any given time. That's exactly what this game has. You bring 3 agents with you, but you can only have one on the field at any given time. And what this does, these 12 different agents have different skills, different abilities, and you actually have the ability to chain some of these together with your hot swapping. So it's a really neat idea that I've never seen before. The artwork and the aesthetic and the story of this game also look very, very interesting. So I think this is going to be one to definitely keep an eye on. Civilization 6. A lot more information has been released on this game. Now I'm going to go over a bunch of just random details, because since they released the trailer and the other gameplay footage, people have been asking a lot of questions about exactly what changes are in this game. So cities are completely different. They are not in one tile anymore. Workers are now builders. They have charges, which will instantly build something and then die once their charges are used up. Wonders, instead of being in a city, are now on their own tiles. And that also goes along with many, if not all, of the buildings that you build in and around your city. They now have their own tile and will get bonuses based on where you place them. Roads are now built automatically by the traders, and it happens very quickly, and that's no longer done by the workers. Barbarians are tougher and can come up with their own plans to attack you, so more dangerous than ever before. They have confirmed that there will be 18 civilizations at the start of the game, the same as Civilization 5. There are day and night cycles in this game, which you are able to toggle on and off if you don't like it. So sort of wrapping that one up, I'm really interested to try and to play Civilization 6. I've always been a huge fan of the series. Personally, I like the new art style they're using. I know there's been a lot of feedback from people who say that they don't like the new artwork. And of course, artwork is subject to your own opinion. But it's definitely going to be one that I'm buying and can't wait to try it out. The Star Trek VR game is the one repeat game I'm going to talk about in this video. When this game was unveiled at the Ubisoft press event, as you can imagine, there were a lot of questions. So I have got some answers to some of the questions. The biggest being, is this just a tech demo? Is this a full game? What is this? So according to the information that I was able to get, it does appear that this is a full game. It's got a full story mode, and the story for this game is going to take place during the new Star Trek films. As we know, Vulcan was destroyed, and so your mission is to actually help the Vulcans find a new planet. Now, in addition to the story mode, they also talked about a mission generator. Now, how exactly does this work? I don't know, but once you get done with the main story mission, and you still want to keep doing new stuff, this thing will just keep cranking out random missions for you to do, which I think that's a really, really cool idea. Another really big question is, will you be able to do this online? Is it local only? And the answer is yes to everything. Local, yes. Online with your friends, yes. Solo, by yourself, yes. And when you're playing it by yourself, you can either play as the captain or any of the other positions, and you can also swap in between them if you have to. Now, it did sound like if you're playing the captain, let's say, and you have to switch over to tactical, it sounds like you might not be able to do tactical permanently. It's only like a timed thing or something. So a little bit of loose information on that, but at least you are able to play it solo, and you are able to jump around, so that's pretty cool. They did talk about the possibility of roleplay servers. So I guess normal servers and roleplay servers. So that's cool that they're considering that. And they also did talk about some character creation in that as well. So definitely some very positive news about the Star Trek VR. Now, Tyranny is a top-down hack-and-slash RPG, sort of Diablo-style-esque. But what's really interesting about this game is the story. And the story is, evil has won. You are one of the leaders of the winning army. Now, what happens in the game is up to you. Do you continue to just let things play out and be sort of the bad guy? Do you maybe change your mind and say, you know what, leaders of the evil side, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, and things ensue from there? I thought it was a game that had a very interesting idea on a system that's already been well developed. They did mention that you are able to create your own character, pick your skills, you can choose a party of companions, and it's going to be a skill-based game. Now, this is being done by Obsidian, who has, an incredible track record for these RPG-type games, so this is definitely going to be another one to keep your eye on. And the final game for this video is going to be Battle Chasers Nightwar. This game is actually based on an old comic book series. RPG inspired by the classics of old, with deep dungeon diving that is randomly generated every single time that you play, with a turn-based combat presented in that classic JRPG format, sort of the Final Fantasy games of old, with a rich story-driven exploration of the world, great presentation, quality, hand-drawn artwork, and it was actually the artwork that really pulled me towards this game. I saw that artwork and I'm like, yay, let's take a look at this game. This looks really pretty, just very, very interesting, and that's sort of what made me gravitate towards this and why it's sort of one of my top games this year at E3 2016, so it's another one that's going to be released again sometime in 2017. There's so many games that are being released next year. It's crazy. I really think that Q1 next year, the first quarter of next year, is going to be so busy with really good games. It might be one of the busiest Q1s that we have ever seen. It is going to be crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And that will go ahead and do it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.